Welcome back. We have breaking news in the fight over whether a citizenship question can be included on the census. Minutes ago, a federal judge rejected the Justice Department's request to assign a new legal team to its lawsuit. The judge says the Department of Justice didn't provide a legitimate explanation for the change, which it announced on Sunday. This comes a day after Attorney General Bill Barr said he believes there is a legal path to adding the citizenship question to the census. With me now is Dale Ho, director of the ACLU's Voting Rights Project, who argued the organization's case before the Supreme Court. Sir, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start here. Do you read anything into this breaking news that the DOJ or that the federal judge says the DOJ can't change their legal team midstream?
I do. The administration's acting like it has something to hide. It's very unusual. In fact, I think it's unprecedented for an administration to swap out its entire legal team that's been working on a case for over a year, the way the Trump administration has tried to do here. And I think it's related to a key representation that the Trump administration's been relying on throughout this entire litigation, which is that changes to the census form can't occur after June 30th, a date that's already passed. The Trump administration used that representation to convince the Supreme Court to hear this case on an expedited basis. Now they're coming back and saying, well, even though that June 30th deadline is passed, we're still considering making further changes to the census questionnaire. And that really leaves two possibilities. Either one, the administration lied to the Supreme Court, or two, the administration is lying now when they're saying they might change the census questionnaire without it affecting the accuracy of the census. And the team of lawyers at DOJ that was withdrawing from the case might know the answer to that.
So the president and the attorney general have both suggested that they have options, obviously, beyond what had happened in the arguments that you made before the Supreme Court. Barr said yesterday, we've been considering all the options. I've been in constant discussions with the president ever since the Supreme Court came down. I think over the next day or two, you'll see the approach that we're taking. I think the decision does provide a path for getting the question on the census. Do you have a sense of what the administration's path that they intend to take?
You know, I don't. And I think it's pretty telling that they haven't come forward with their secret plan yet. I think it shows a lack of confidence in the legality of what they want to do here. In the first few days after the decision, the administration conceded in court and said that they weren't going to try to add the question. I think that reflected a recognition that they didn't have any good legal options. And then the day after that, Trump threw a temper tantrum and on Twitter announced he was going to put the question back on. And then the attorney general said, well, we might as well take a shot, which is not exactly the most confidence-inspiring statement about a legal plan that I've ever heard. I mean, the Supreme Court's decision said it said a lot of things, but two things in particular. One, this decision has to happen by June 30th because you can't change the census forms after that date. And two, the attempt to put a citizenship question on the questionnaire is illegal. I think that ends the story.
So what happens if the president just does go ahead and put this question on the census forms? I mean, what does that mean in the context of the law? And is there any recourse for those of you who are arguing against it?
Well, I think, we'll have to see exactly what it is that the president has planned here. I don't think they quite know yet at this point either. But if the president goes forward and tries to add a citizenship question to the 2020 census questionnaire, he'll be in open defiance of a ruling by the United States Supreme Court. And to that, all I can say is we'll see him in court.
Does that seem like an unprecedented situation to you for this administration? I
mean, this administration has been a basket of unprecedenteds. So it's hard for me to sort of identify this as, the most unprecedented thing that this administration has done. But look, they lost in the Supreme Court. They said that June 30th was the deadline. The deadline has passed. There's no mulligan here.
So the president, in the wake of this decision, has also seemed to be relatively clear about his motive for wanting to put this question on the census, which, of course, has been the subject of all of these original debates. Take a look at how the president framed it.
Well, you need it for many reasons. Number one, you need it for Congress. You need it for Congress, for districting. You need it for appropriations. Where are the funds going? How many people are there? Are they citizens? Are they not citizens? You need it for many reasons.
Isn't the president essentially making the case there that this is all about politics? It's all about redistricting?
Well, he is making the case that it's connected to a long-term strategy to try to drain political representation from communities of color and to boost the prospects of the Republican Party and, which secret documents revealed, non-Hispanic whites, in the words of a Republican redistricting strategist. So I think it directly connects to the allegations that from the beginning this has been motivated by an attempt to harm minority communities.
All right, Dale Ho, thank you very much for your insights today.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.